Alright, I'm Arthur, and by the end of this video, you're going to be able to play some great sounding rock piano. You'll learn a chugging left-hand progression that imitates the sound of a guitar. We'll add suspended chords to build energy. How you can use a simple scale, basic harmony, and syncopated rhythms to create really cool sounding improvisations like this. A great sounding riffing technique to create some oomph. Yeah, that's right, I said oomph. A rock piano lick that you can use anywhere. And how you can use the blues scale to improvise rock piano solos. And also some really powerful sounding chords to finish it off. Alright, so that's what you're going to learn. And the great thing about what I'm about to teach you is that many of the licks, riffs and techniques I'm going to show you, you can actually use in all sorts of different rock songs as well. And first of all, I'm going to teach you this really cool sounding left-hand progression. And then once you've got this, we'll use it as a foundation and we'll build all those right-hand rock techniques on top. Okay, so this left hand is quite straightforward. It's just 4 notes. So middle C is here. You're going to go down to the left by 1 full octave. And if you can, I want you to play an octave below as well. Don't worry if you can't stretch a full octave, you can just do 1 note if you want. But if you add the octave, it gives it a bit more oomph and makes it sound more like a chugging guitar. So the notes in the left hand are C, and then B flat, and then A, and then A flat. But you need to play them a certain amount of times, yeah? So we're going to be playing 4 beats per bar, and each of these left-hand octaves are going to be played 2 times per beat. So it's like their 8th notes or quavers. So we're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So it's like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then another bar of C. And 2 and 3 and 4 and then on the B flat for 2 bars. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And then the A for 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the A flat for 1 full bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then this next bar you're going to split into 2 with 2 beats on the A flat and 2 beats on the B flat like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's it. So I'm just going to quickly play through the full left hand progression for you now so you can see how it all fits together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you can repeat round in circles, and eventually we'll be playing that over and over, and you'll be adding all the stuff on top in your right hand. Okay, so next we're going to add some suspended chords in your right hand. So this adds some nice energy over the top of that left hand chugging pattern. So the chords in your right hand are just going to be a C sus4, which is the C, F and G. And then you're going to go to the C triad, C, E, G. And then you're going to go to the C sus2. So this, C there, D and G. And then it's going to go back to the C triad chord. And that's it, so it's going to go like that. Okay? And you can play around with it if you want, but I'm going to give you some timing to do. So I want your right hand to play on the 1 and then on the and after the 2, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then when you add your left hand back in, it's like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you can carry on with those same right hand chords in the same order over those left hand octaves underneath, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and A flat bar. Now the final bar where we've got an A flat and a B flat, what we're going to do, we're going to add a C minor chord over the A flat, which sounds really cool, like a slash chord. Yeah? And then when you move up to the B flat, you're going to play a B flat chord on your right. I just think it sounds really cool. It just adds a nice turnaround to get back to the start of the progression. So we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay? So now I'm going to play that right hand suspended chord part along with those extra chords in the end a bit faster so you can see how it all fits together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Back round to the start. So that's the suspended chords. Have a go at that, get full control of it, and then you can move on to the next part. Okay, so in this next part, I'm going to teach you how you can create really cool sounding improvisations with just one simple scale, some basic harmony, and also syncopation. So what you're going to do is you're going to play basically the C major scale, so any of the white keys except the B. You're going to play B flat instead. And then what you're going to do, you're going to add an octave harmony. So you're going to add a C on top. So here's the scale like that, but with the octave C above. So you can just get used to going up and down like that. And it might sound quite straightforward, but then when you start to play around with the rhythms and the order, even better. But then when you add the left hand underneath, it sounds really cool. I like it. Like this. Yeah? Can you see what I mean? So what I'm doing, I'm just playing the octave harmony with the C major scale, except I'm just playing the B flat rather than the B. And that's it. And it sounds really cool, doesn't it? But what I think makes the difference with what I'm doing here is using syncopated rhythms. So if you didn't know, syncopated rhythms are when you play off of the main beat. So if you're counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, off the beat would be playing on the ands. For example, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So can you see us playing in between the main beats a lot of the time? Feel free to play around with these syncopated rhythms, but I'm going to give you an exact rhythm that you can use that will sound good. So this specific rhythm pattern lasts over 2 bars, and then you can just keep on repeating that rhythm pattern over and over again. It sounds really cool. So what you do is you play in the 1, and then on the and after the 2, then the 4, and then on the next bar, you play on the and after the 1, and then the 3, 4. And it sounds really cool like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Yeah? So that's the rhythm. So practice that 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4 until you've really got it in your soul. Until you've really got it. And then you just be able to play that rhythm kind of whenever you want. Yeah? And the reason this sounds good is you're actually playing in groups of 3 in your right hand. So it's kind of going across the 2-beat rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 3, 4. Do you see? So there's that group of 3. So it just creates this triplet effect that flows against that 2-beat pattern in your left hand. So I hope you have fun learning that. Next, I'm going to teach you a riffing rhythm technique. So this riffing technique sounds really cool, and you can use it in all sorts of rock songs and just rock piano playing in general. And it sounds like this. was playing it quite fast then, and I was also playing it higher up, but you get the idea. So, what you're going to do is you're going to play an open 5th chord, so C, and the G above, and then you're going to add an octave on top, like that. And then this is more to do with just the rhythm you're going to play in your right hand. So what you're going to do is you're going to play an open 5th chord on the C, which is a C and a G, and then play an octave C above with this rhythm. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then that rhythm repeats itself. So if you add the left hand underneath, which is playing on all the beats, it's going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you carry on with the left hand progression, but with that same right hand part above. But what you can do then is you can add notes from the left hand progression into that octave C part. So on the next bar along, you play a B flat with octave Cs. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and okay. Then on to the A in your left, so you're going to replace the B flat with the A and keep the octave Cs. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then finally the A flat there. So you add an A flat in your right hand, and this is going to be for 1 bar here. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and because here then you can go back to the C minor in your right hand for that last bar and then the B flat. But I think it sounds good to create some variations, so you can then maybe do an inversion. So do a C minor first there, and then a B flat first over the B flat. Yeah? So that is this riffing pattern that you can add. And you can play it up and down the octaves as well. But I'm just going to show you exactly the same place, a little bit faster, the full sequence, including those 2 C minor first inversion and B flat first chords at the end as well. Like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that is a riff that I want you to practice. But another thing you can add here is you might find that chugging away on these octaves might get a little bit tiring in the left hand, especially as you progress onto the other techniques as well. So what you can do at this point is you can add an alternating octave. So rather than going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, you can go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah? So it just makes it a little bit easier on the sort of achy hand or wrist. You know what I mean? So you're going to go 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yeah. So that's something you can add in if you want. It's something I do as well. I add alternating octaves as well. You may need to practice that separately on its own just to get used to that and getting used to the counting and that kind of thing. But once you've got full control of it, you can always alternate between that and just the full octaves if you want, just to give your hand a little bit of a rest. Now it's time to add a rockin' lick on top. Let's do it. So this is what it sounds like. Yeah, so it's that right hand part. You can also play it up an octave. Yeah, so sounds great. It's just something you can learn and throw in whenever you want. So it's relatively simple. It's just playing an E flat, a C, B flat, C, and then that just repeats. But you're going to add the G underneath. It's like a fifth. Yeah? So that's all it is. It's going. Yeah? And if you're interested in the rhythm I was playing, I was going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then I was just repeating that over and over again. So adding the left hand, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Yeah, and again, notice it's that syncopation again. It's playing in between the beats a lot. Just creates that cool sounding rhythm effect. And finally, I'm going to teach you how you can use the blues scale to improvise rock piano solos. So in rock music, one of the most common scales guitarists use is the minor pentatonic scale. And quite often, they also add a flattened fifth. So this is essentially the minor blues scale. So if you become familiar with these minor blues scales, you'll be able to improvise really great sounding rock piano solos. And as this progression is in the key of C, I'm going to teach you the C minor blues scale, so you can have a go. Okay, so here's the scale. It's C, E flat, F, G flat or F sharp, and then G, B flat, and then up to the C. That's it. I would suggest doing 1, 2, 3, 4 with your finger in here, and then coming underneath, your thumb on the G, 2 on the B flat, 3rd on the C, yeah? Get used to that until you've got full control of it, and then you can practice going up 2 octaves, so like this. I would suggest coming underneath with your thumb to the C, and then the same, 4 there on the G flat, thumb underneath. So coming down over the 4, 3rd on the F, 2nd on the E flat, thumb on the C, over the top with your 2 on the B flat, thumb underneath, over the top with your 4, 3, 2, 1. I would suggest going up and down that scale until you're really comfortable with it and trying to do the same fingering every time. Because then if you get the fingering right and it becomes like muscle memory, you won't have to think about it. Your fingers will just do it automatically, which will mean you're able to play much faster. That was fast speaking as well, wasn't it? Gosh. Then when you got control of it, you can start to play around. So if you're just starting out or you're quite early in your piano playing journey, you might want to just pull out the full left hand at the moment. You can start improvising with that scale just with single notes in your left hand, like this. Yeah? So notice I was kind of just playing around with the scale, like moving up and down, but not necessarily just going up and down the scale, just skipping out notes and stuff. And then you can start to add the left hand in. Sometimes dropping beats. Yeah? So you don't always have to be playing. Yeah? I'm not doing anything too complicated there. Just to try to show you that it doesn't need to be complicated. You could just play it really simple. Just improvise with 3 notes. You get the idea, yeah? So it doesn't have to be really complicated. It's more to do with playing with the rhythms, dropping out, coming back in, mixing up the notes of the scale. But one thing you can do, if you're really struggling with playing on top of that left hand and just keeping that left hand pattern going while you're thinking about improvising with your right, because I understand when you first start doing it, it can be a bit tricky. So you can just do a pattern to get used to playing with both hands, like an exercise, sorry. So if you're interested, all you're going to do is you're going to go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So you're just going to not play on the last beat of every bar. And they're going to go up an octave, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then you come down, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then just play that pattern up and down over your left hand, like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. That's 2 bars. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And 2 and 3 and 4 and, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay? That's going to just get you used to playing that right hand scale over that left hand pattern and just keeping the beat and keeping the structure. And then once you're used to that and you feel more comfortable playing at the same time, you can start to play around with the rhythms and hopefully play with a bit more confidence and just a bit more creativity. And just quickly now, another thing you can do which adds more power is you can start to play that scale but with octaves. So it might take some practice again, just getting used to going up and down the scale, but with octaves in your right. But then when you're playing, it just sounds really cool when you suddenly flow into an octave. You see what I mean? Yeah? Cool. So you can also add some right hand octaves on that scale as well. And finally, as a bonus, I want to give you some really cool sounding chords, just so you can bring all this together and have a nice ending. So it sounds like this. Alright, so the chords are C major, first inversion, and then B flat major, second inversion, and then F7, which is F, A, C, E flat on top, tap top, and then A flat major, which is A flat C, yeah, and then I went back round to the C over the A flat, and then B flat, yeah, so it's that. Yeah, but with a rhythm, okay, which is this: 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and that just repeats with those other chords. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, here that rhythm pattern finishes because we're going to go to the C minor. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and then you finish on the C major. And then if you want, you can sort of noodle around with the C minor blues scale as well, from top to bottom. But that's up to you. Okay, so that's everything. If you want to see everything I've taught you there combined into one rock piano piece, along with some indicators to remind what I'm playing, then watch this video here. And if there's any more specific rock piano techniques that you want to learn, or maybe you've heard something in a rock song and you think, that sounds cool, I want to learn that, just let me know in the comments below, or just comment to say hi. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button. I've been Arthur from Birds Piano Academy, and don't forget to keep on rocking and practicing.